Ron DeSantis a updated 2024 election prediction. So let's get right into today's video, starting with the state-buying states: California, Hawaii, New York, Massachusetts, the state of Maryland, the District of Columbia, and the state of Vermont will be considered safe for the Democratic Party, as well as that Maine's 1st District. This is not very surprising. All of these states did go to Joe Biden by a safe margin in 2020. And some of the states that went to him by a safe margin in 2020, I do not expect to be safe for him in 2024, such as Oregon, Washington, and Delaware. While for Ron DeSantis, Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska's at large, the 3rd District, and the 1st District, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, and the state of Missouri, as well as that the states of Alaska and South Carolina will be safe for the Republican Party. I think Ron DeSantis will have slightly worse appeal in Iowa and Ohio compared to Donald Trump, but he should be able to do very well in those states. Ron DeSantis basically carries all the safe Trump states, plus the states of Kansas and the states of South Carolina and Alaska that will be moved into the safe Republican column. While for the likely states for Joe Biden: Oregon, Washington, Colorado, Illinois, New Jersey, Delaware, the state of Connecticut, the state of Rhode Island, and I believe that's pretty much it for the incumbent, except the state of Virginia as well, this likely Democratic column, which does give the Democrats 204 electoral votes to Ron DeSantis' 125. Right now, Joe Biden's up on top by about 80 electoral votes. Now for the likely Ron DeSantis states, starting from his home state, the state of Florida, likely going to go for him by a likely margin. Texas is trending Democratic, but in the end, Ron DeSantis is a pretty good candidate for the suburbs. He has a mix of rural appeal and suburban appeal, and the environment is not going to be super good for the Democratic Party. In 2020, Donald Trump was a pretty unpopular candidate for some of those suburbs. Going to the state of North Carolina, I do expect Ron DeSantis to win by a likely margin against some of the suburbs in the area of Wake and some of these suburbs of the area of Charlotte. They did go more Democratic. If we look at the shifts, some of the Raleigh area, some of the Charlotte area, and their turnout was extremely high. I don't think that will be the case in 2024. As well as that, the states of Ohio and Iowa, both likely Trump states, shouldn't be too shocking to anybody. And Maine's 2nd District will be likely for Ron DeSantis. Going to the final states here, these are going to be the most contested states of 2024, some more than others. A state that is likely going to be less contested is New Mexico. I do expect Biden to only win by about 4.5 percentage points, but again, Biden's going to easily carry the state. Going to the state of Maine as well, it should be a lane Joe Biden state. It shouldn't be too surprising to anyone as well. Biden was able to carry the state by 9 points. It's definitely not going to go Republican. The Portland area is hugely Democratic, and it's been able to carry the state for Democrats for a decently long period of time. So for the next and final lean state for the Democratic Party, the state of Minnesota I do have as lean Democratic. Going to the state of Minnesota, some of the suburbs are trending humongously for the Democratic Party. The Minneapolis area and the Rochester area, these are hugely trending Democratic areas. Republicans, they aren't maxed out. Some rural areas, you can see these are dark pink. These are not exactly the solid red characterizations, but it doesn't matter really. The Democrats have a pretty good appeal in the Minneapolis suburbs, and the state is not trending Republican by a lot, especially not going to be the case in the coming decades. So now we have the lean Republican states, and boy do we have a lot. Ron DeSantis has already crossed 232 electoral votes, meaning he'll be basically able to do better than the former president in 2020. So starting from Wisconsin here, Ron DeSantis, I do have as a lean victory for him. He's going to do better in some of the wild counties, some of the Milwaukee suburbs, while retaining a lot of the margins in the rural areas, as he is kind of a balance for both. I think that, again, the Democratic turnout will be slightly lower, but in a state that Biden was only able to win by 20,000 votes, that will definitely be enough, in my opinion. Going to the state of Michigan as well, I do have this as a lean state for Donald Trump. For the Democratic Party, they have Detroit and Ann Arbor, which is hugely Democratic, but for the Republicans, they still have some room to gain in some of these rural counties, and I think that the suburbanites will not necessarily be super harsh on DeSantis, as they might be on Donald Trump. I think there will be a slight suburban reversion. It's not going to be huge at all, but I think in such a close state, it will be enough to carry Ron DeSantis over the top. The next state will be the decided state, the state of Arizona, which will go to the Republican Party. I think that for the state of Arizona, Joe Biden was only able to win by 0.3. I think Ron DeSantis will be able to do better in an area like Phoenix, potentially flip the county. If you flip the county of Phoenix, it's difficult to see how the Democrats could win the state, as Biden won Maricopa by 45,000, but Arizona as a whole by just under 12,000 votes. So going to the final few states here, I do have down Ron DeSantis winning Pennsylvania. I think Biden will not be viewed as that Scranton boy he was in 2020, as he's now the president of the United States. The regional advantage for Joe Biden in the state of Pennsylvania will decrease slightly, and I think that the Democrats just wouldn't do super well in an election like 2024, especially considering Biden's current approval rating, the oil prices, and those things that will really be on the mind of many Americans. Now, going to the final few states for this election, starting with the state of Nevada, I do have this as a tilt state for Ron DeSantis. I think Ron DeSantis will be able to do pretty well in Clark and Washoe and end up winning the state. The state of Georgia as well, tilt for Ron DeSantis. The suburbs are not going to reverse, but I think that turnout will be generally lower on the Democratic Party side. It will be also slightly lower on the Republican side, but I think all things being equal, Joe Biden will nearly lose the state. I think Ron DeSantis will also nearly win Nebraska's 2nd District, a district that still went for Biden by 6. The district still went for Joe Biden by 6, despite the new boundaries being slightly less Democratic leaning. However, I just don't think the Republicans will be able to win the state. The Democrats will be able to win the district, given the national environment. Finally, I do have New Hampshire as well, a tilt state for Ron DeSantis. I think Ron DeSantis will do better in an area like Manchester or Concord, some of the areas that have shifted heavily Democratic. I think they'll reverse a little bit, will be enough, I'm not very sure. But as of right now, I'm just going to put it as tilt Republican. Anyways, thanks for watching, have a nice day. Again, follow me on Discord, follow me on Twitter, join my Discord server, the links will be in the description, in the pinned comments down below. Thanks for watching, have a nice day, bye!